Why a far dorm where these
Sorry about all that delay. Okay, now we're done with Hilchos Pesach.
Right, okay. No, I mean I
Sim Kuf Chav, Hilchos Sfira Saimer v'Yemei Sfira. Hilchos Sfira Saimer v'Yemei Sfira Ba Yud Aleph Seifa.
like the mice story.
So Belel Sheni Shal Pesach Maschil and Lispar Sfira Saimer on the second night of Pesach. We start Sfira Saimer with Sefer Ma'umid and you do Sfira Ma'umid. A mitzvah Lispar take up B'tchilas Alayla Ach Tzesek Chavim. The mitzvah is to do it immediately after Tzesek Chavim. It's interesting because we're not makbid on this, right? Yeshivas, they daven Ma'ariv 10, 11 o'clock, and then they, meaning, why don't they just make a klap and the stender or whatever in the middle of the night and say, okay, it's Tzes, you should count Sfira. But the Eved's mana kol alayla, but the Eved's mana is the whole night. There's a knesset below the Shabbos, Yom Tov Sefer La'achar Kiddush. In Shul, on Friday night, you make the Sfira after Kiddush, for those shuls that make Kiddush. Kedei L'haktim Kedushas HaYom, because you want Kedushas HaYom to come first. But Motzei Shabbos Yom Tov Sefer Kaidam Havdalah, Kedei L'achar Yitzias HaYom. But on Motzei Shabbos, but this is for the shuls that they make Kiddush and Havdalah in the shul. Meaning, so Friday night you do it after Kiddush, Motzei Shabbos you do it before Havdalah. When the Yom Tov Achron falls out, Motzei Shabbos, Kiddush Havdalah al Kais Echad, you make Kiddush and Havdalah on one Kais. Seifin Gam Kein Kaidem Kedei La'acharas Havdalah, you do it also first in order to push off Havdalah. Somebody forgot the whole night. You should count during the day without a bracha. Then you can continue counting with the bracha because there are shitas that hold you can count Sfira during the day. And if you forget the whole day, then you count after that every night without a bracha. That's because of Safek brachas lahakal. Because there are shitas that say each individual night is a separate mitzvah, but there are shitas that say that all 49 are one big mitzvah. If you're not sure whether you counted at night, even if you didn't count anything, you can continue counting because that's a good old sekfeka. Suffolk whether you counted and Suffolk whether we paskin that each individual night is its own mitzvah. If during Ben Hashmashas the friend asks, where are we up to? And or after that you say how many days is it? Say yesterday was this and this amount. Because if you tell them how many days there are, then you can no longer count Sfira because you counted that day. But that's only if you said today is such and such. If you just answer a number, you're allowed to count that night with the bracha. Before you start counting, you have to know what you're counting. Meaning, don't make the bracha and then turn to your friend and say, no, what night is it? Right? You have to know how many days. If you started the bracha and you said you're just going to count with whatever your friend says, you're also yatsa. And let's say if you had in das to count 4 days, and after you made a bracha, you remember that it's 5 days. Count 5, you don't have to make a second bracha, even though normally a bracha has to be done with the proper kavana, with the proper intentions of what you're making the bracha on. And if you made a mistake in Sfira, you're supposed to say 6, you said 5. If you remember right away, then you count properly. You don't have to make a second bracha. But if you made a hefsek, then you'd have to make another bracha. Right? You can leave. You don't have to stick around. If you're done, right?
I'm done, but I gotta grab the pen.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Make me a shliach to do whatever I want with the comments.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, have a wonderful day. Great to see you.
You too. Thank you.
You get to go straight to Muhammad for one thing, to deal with all the Levine women and married and everyone else.
Hey, but that's my agent over there in case anybody wanted to know. My little malach. Yeah. Hey, b'chol yom tovim kol leil aleph b'Shabbos she'ein oz maravis, that you don't say maravis, right? That's not myriv. Azai belel sheni omrim hamaravis belel milal aleph. You say the second night, because you don't do it. Maravis is like yotzvus. If it's on Shabbos, you don't say it. So then the second night you say the first night. Chutz mi Pesach, except on Pesach, shafilu chol leil aleph b'Shabbos kol makom. Belel Sheni, Aimrim Maravis Shashayach, you do the Maravis that is Shayach to Mepination Bedav, but Kitzur Saimer Shay Belel Zeh. The reason is because you do Kitzur Saimer that it says in this night. Vabi Mea Svira, Mesu Tamid Rabbi Kiva Belamad Gimel Yom. The Rabbi Kiva's Tamidim died over a 33-day span. That's why we have some Avelos. Shein Nois and Nashim Veim Stopim. We don't marry. We don't take haircuts. Yesh Chilukim and Agam Misra Lamad Gimel Yom. And then we have a disagreement about how to count these 33 days. Yesh comes to Nagin Shechash Nois and B'Yom Aleph the Svira. There are those that the minig is that we count from the first day of Svira. But L'chein Nois and Ad Lag B'Omer. It's also till Lag B'Omer. K'shachor Rosh Chodesh Iyar b'Shabbos. When Rosh Chodesh Iyar falls on Shabbos, the Yesh by Shtei Kedushas, because it's Rosh Chodesh and Shabbos, Kedusha Shabbos, Kedushas Rosh Chodesh, Oz Matir and Lisa, then you're allowed to marry. V'chein l'stap b'Erev Shabbos, you can take a haircut on Erev Shabbos. So Yom Lamed Gimel B'Omer, v'chein misham ve'elech Matir, and we matter it because Mipnei Yom Lamed Gimel B'Omer, Pascha Milamis, on the 33rd day, like Lag B'Omer, they stop dying. We have a little bit of simcha, and you don't say tachnon. Even though that day some died, don't take a haircut or get married until after the day started. We don't take a haircut from the night because although there are shitas that allow that. When Lag B'Omer is on a Sunday, Shabbos, Shalafan of the covered Shabbos, then you do count. Then you do take haircuts because it's a bizayon for Shabbos for everybody to start taking haircuts on Sunday morning. However, I think from this comes out a big misunderstanding. There's almost no Motzei Shabbos that goes by. They don't get a shiloh from somebody if they're allowed to take a haircut on Motzei Shabbos. There's no source to not take, as far as I know, there's no source to not take haircuts on Motzei Shabbos. This is the only one that maybe this is the source because it's a bizayon for Shabbos. Yes, it's a bizayon for Shabbos. You should take the haircut for Shabbos, but if you didn't, then you're allowed to take a haircut on Motzei Shabbos. Some say that you're allowed to take haircuts and get married until Rosh Chodesh Iyar, including Rosh Chodesh. Shein Shisha also Yom, that's 16 days. That will leave over 33 days of Isser till Shavuos. And then you take a haircut on Erev Shavuos. But even according to that opinion, you still allow it on Lag B'Omer. There are those that say that you go Rosh Chodesh Iyar, but not including Rosh Chodesh Iyar. And the first day Rosh Chodesh starts is Yom Aleph Da'Agbala, Hu Yom Halag, and the first day of Shleishis Me'Agbala, third day of Sivan, is the 33rd day. Varmina B'Y Miktas Yom Kekulai Umutaran Liso L'Stavar Mehan. V'Gaba Yom Lamed Gimel B'Omer Mutaran, and also on Lag B'Omer. So those are the three opinions, three basic opinions. Every tzibur has to do one minig v'lo yeshanu lasis mitzas on kach mitzas and kach, and don't have different minhagim. Ches Sandik, who atovis is a sinig b'shas mila, he's the one that holds the baby during mila. V'amayil v'avia ben mutaran l'staper b'yom shelifnei mila samach l'erev kaidam halicha lebeis haknesses. He's allowed to take a haircut even the night before. Test lasis shidduchin, to make shidduchim, which is like engagement parties. Afilu b'sudim mutaran b'chol hayamim, it's mutar in all days. Achri kudan and b'cholos, also you're not allowed to sing and dance. I mean, not sing, yes, dance, no. Yod, noigan shalei lasis malacha echad anoshim echad anoshim koyim esvira meshkias achama ad lachar svira sa'omer. That you're not supposed to do malacha from after shkia until you count. For them is l'zeh shenem sheva shabbos meloshin shvus, from resting Shabbos. V'ana svira dahin meshkias achama ve'elach yesh lishvus malacha ad lachar svira until after svira. Yod al pilel aleph the shvus ma'achrim l'spal arvis atzesek kechavim. On the first day of Shavuos, we start, meaning on the first day of Shavuos, we push it off till after Tzeis, like every other Yom Tov. Because if you daven Ma'ariv too early, you're not having a full 49 days of Sfira. You need a full 7 weeks, and you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that if you daven Ma'ariv before. Okay, we will stop over there. I'm sorry for all the delay. Everybody should have a fine night and be matzliach. Okay, Zagazon.